Yo, what is up guys, Ghost here. So recently there have been some discussions on Twitter about the future of Battlefield and what direction the Battlefield franchise needs to take in order to survive and grow in this ever-changing gaming world. The FPS market is not really the one that existed back when Battlefield was created, and not even when Battlefield 3 and 4 were the newest games. Much of the competition have embraced new game modes like Battle Royale, if you look at Apex and Warzone, but should Battlefield do the same thing? Before we get started though, if you do enjoy the content, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on any future videos. We're about 100 subs from 42,000 again. Thank you guys so much for supporting me. Now before we get into the main topic here, I wanted to alert you guys if you haven't seen this already. So a Reddit user called MPTH Lee posted an intriguing image over the weekend. So it shows a pop-up window within the Origin launcher that apparently confirms that there will be a Battlefield 2042 Year 2 upgrade coming to the store at some point. So for those of you, if you're playing on console, Origin is the launcher that we've used on PC to launch EA games for years, although it is actually getting replaced by the newer EA app. So you can tell from the text here, a lot of this stuff is placeholder, it doesn't really mean anything, and you know, apart from the title, it doesn't really tell us too much. However, another Reddit user, aptly called API Man, who was able to delve into the Origin API for a closer look, and he could confirm that first of all, this isn't fake, so this is definitely a real legit screenshot. Secondly, it costs $2, which is almost certainly placeholder unless EA have decided to dramatically slash their pricings. And thirdly, it was last updated on March the 17th. So this isn't something old and long forgotten within the Origin app that they just forgot to remove. It has been modified or perhaps even added fairly recently, and it almost certainly popped up for this user by accident. So I think we can expect some sort of announcement from DICE about just what their plans are for Battlefield 2042 going forward pretty soon. Now they've already confirmed, of course, that we will be seeing a Season 5, but beyond that, we don't really have a clue what to expect. But with this leak, it's now looking that perhaps DICE are not just planning Season 5, but also Seasons 6, 7 and 8. When we all purchased the Gold or Ultimate editions of the game when it originally released, those only came with 4 Battle Passes for the first 4 seasons, so it wouldn't be surprising if this Year 2 store item will include 4 more Battle Passes for 4 more seasons. Now if this does turn out to be true, I think it's absolutely fantastic news. They've finally gotten the game to a point where, you know, people are starting to have fun, players are returning, and whilst there is still much work to be done, things are definitely going in the right direction. But DICE do have a history of fixing a Battlefield game, getting it into a stable condition, and then ceasing all content production to move on to the next title. You know, that happened with Battlefield 5. I remember the Pacific update came out and I was finally enjoying my time, and then the whole TTK changes came in and that was a bit of a debacle, but outside of that, the game was feeling better to me, and then they announced that they were cutting content. However, I really don't think that that is the case here. I'm also certain that the next core Battlefield is only going to be releasing in 2024, late 2024 at the earliest, and if I'm being realistic, they're probably targeting winter 2025. You know, a lot of time and effort went into reshuffling all their studios and the new management, so don't expect an announcement anytime soon. I think adding another guaranteed year of content to Battlefield 2042 is a no-brainer here, really. As for the amount of content within those seasons, obviously we've been told that we're not getting a new specialist, but it has been confirmed that they have already begun work on the new gadget. For Season 5, we're getting a new map as well, so really if they go ahead and add in a few new weapons, that pretty much is going to be the same amount of content that we've been getting for the first 4 seasons. At the end of the day, a specialist is pretty much a gadget and a trait, right? Other than that, yeah, the skins and whatnot, but I don't know, it doesn't really matter so much to me. Now, speaking of the future of Battlefield, there's been a lot of discussion about a tweet by Mr. Pro Westy over on Twitter. So he said, "I still think Battlefield is best placed to make a Battle Royale game mode. Firestorm was a great basis, and I wish it had been given the chance. Hazard Zone, although an extraction mode, missed the mark. Battlefield Royale, it's right there." And then he elaborated on this saying, I want to explain why I tweeted this. It's because I expect the future of Battlefield to be quite different. I'm not expecting standalone releases every 2 to 3 years, I'm expecting lots of releases, small and large, multiplayer and single player, over the next several years. I'm predicting Battle Royale to be a part of that. So I kind of get his point here. Battle Royale has seen big success, just look at Apex, Warzone, etc. However, DICE already tried somewhat reinventing the wheel with Battlefield 2042, with the lack of the class system, with the specialists, and they very quickly realized, I think, that all the community wanted from them is a true to form, proper, core Battlefield game. And that is really where I feel DICE and the other studios working on the games need to put their resources. You know, Battlefield to me is already totally unique. That is the reason that I think that so many players continue to play the franchise, good or bad, because it has a way of pulling you back in again and again, and the reason is that nothing else is quite like Battlefield. Other franchises have tried to imitate Battlefield over the years. We saw Modern Warfare bring the ground war mode and vehicles, you know, yeah, that wasn't really that great. And then we've seen World War III and BattleBit, and I'm not trying to talk those games down, but I don't really feel like Battlefield is or has ever been in a position where other shooters on the market are stepping on its toes and invading its space. All DICE need to do is double down on everything that the past games have done correctly, and you've got yourself a winning formula right there. They don't need to chase the competition and look at the other franchises, and, you know, even though I'm sure they do that, and think, what are these guys doing? You know, why don't we do what they're doing? Just do Battlefield. Now, on the other hand, I do think West is right in saying there won't be Battlefield releases every 2 to 3 years, and that we should be expecting multiple releases from the different studios involved in the franchise. Right now, there's DICE Stockholm, Ripple Effect, and the newly created Ridgelines Game Studios. So they're working on the single player portion of one of the upcoming games, and Ripple Effect are working on entirely their own project. Furthermore, the new management, Vince Zampella and co, have told us that they want to expand Battlefield to be more of a universe rather than a single line of games, and as we all know, a universe has multiple galaxies of different shapes and sizes. So whilst I do think that the core Battlefield experience must remain and stay true to its roots, that's not to say that they can't go down other avenues, such as Battle Royale with a standalone product and a separate release. At the end of the day, as a developer, I can totally understand why they want to do new things and experiment. Not only is that the only way to push innovation, but it probably gets boring creating the same kind of game again and again. But this time around, you know, let's perhaps not experiment too much with the core Battlefield game and save most of that for, I don't know, like a spin-off game or something. In any case, I would be interested to hear what you guys have to say about this. Would you be interested in a Battlefield Royale experience of any kind, or do you prefer to keep Battlefield true to its original self? Personally, again, I don't have any problem with them making multiple games and some of them being a little bit more experimental, as long as we have that one core game to play as well. Now, if you missed Friday's video and you're interested to see what is coming to Battlefield 2042, not in year 2, but in the very near future, then go ahead and check that video out if you're interested in that. As always, guys, thanks for hanging out and spending some time with me today. Hope you enjoyed, have a good one, and I'll see you later.